Hello again for the third time today. So if anybody should be angry, it's me, but I'm okay because I'm kind of used to the fact that these things happen and we kind of have to roll with it. So I'm recording myself on Zoom, and then as soon as I'm done, I'll upload it and answer any questions that anybody might have. So I'm going to start all over again. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Bonnie Sonnenberg, and I am a trauma advocate and transformational mindset coach. And what that means is I'm a trauma advocate because I speak for those who are not ready to share their story. I have been a trauma survivor. I was in a traumatic experience for over 30 years, and I'm free obviously now, and we're always in recovery. So I always say I'm in recovery. We're all just in different stages of recovery. So what my job is to take you from one side of trauma to the side of recovery. And I always say that recovery is a mountain. So it's a mountain that you cannot go around, and it's a mountain that you cannot go over. But it's a mountain that you need to dig your way through. So on one side, you have trauma, and on the other side, you have recovery. And part of recovery is dealing with our anger. Part of recovery is looking at our anger, and I call it my ugly. Oh my gosh, I have Facebook up here so many times because I was just so confused with everything today. Anyway, so what we're going to do in the next 5 weeks is we're going to talk about today what anger is, what physically happens inside our body and inside our brain, and why we feel like when we're angry. And again, my job as a trauma advocate, as a mindset coach, is to work on our mindset and to help us not suppress our anger, but to really pull it out. I like to call it our ugly, pull it out and look at it and examine it, process it, which is the most important part, and then we're able to move forward. So let's talk about what happens in your brain when you are in a state of anger. Well, first of all, your body is in flight, fright, or freeze mode. So what happens when we're in that mode is a lot of our brain, areas of our brain shut down, and only the ones that we need for flight or fright or fight are being used. And so right away, things are changing and chemicals are changing within our body that we don't even know about. So when we hold on to anger and we have prolonged anger, it really takes effect on our body. And so when you're walking around angry all day for days and days and months and years, it takes its toll. So we're here to today explain why your body does what it does. And then the next 4 weeks, talk about how to process it and move forward and let go of it and accept what is and move on. So I know I have to put this up as a Zoom. If you guys have any questions after you watch, please put them below in the comments so that I can help you out in any way. That's what I'm here for. I literally have my phone on me 24/7 because I'm a mom. And so you can always DM me anything that you need me to know. Okay, so our brain has a lot of different sections, and I'm going to tell you right up front that I'm just shutting off this distracting Zoom thing over here. I am not I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm just a coach. So I'm talking about your brain, and I'm talking about different parts of your brain, and I hope that I can explain it in terms that you and I both understand. But there is a part of our brain called the hypothalamus. And what that does, it gets activated by another part of our brain called the amygdala, which tells our body, bing, 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 alert, 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 alert. And your hypothalamus wakes up and it starts producing these two chemicals, cortisol and adrenaline. So your heart's racing and your pulse is getting stronger and your blood pressure is rising and your muscles are tense and you're feeling all those feelings you feel when you're angry. That's the way we feel because our hypothalamus goes into alert stage and overproduces these chemicals. And that comes from our ancestors when we really had to fight or flight when faced with terror. And so our body, when we're angry, automatically goes into that state. So some of the other things that are kind of interesting that occur in our body is that our muscles, like I said, become tightened and energized. And as we know, your heart is a muscle. So it becomes tight and energized and your heart rate begins to go up. And what's really weird that I found out is that your vision tends to decrease. So when they say it was blind anger or it was blind rage, that's what they're talking about. You have a limited view, a limited sense of your vision when you are in that angered state. So if you take trauma victims, we've been angry for a long time. We're angry at ourselves. We're angry at our abuser or our trauma, the person who caused our trauma. And we're just angry at the world. Why me? Why did this happen to me? And we carry or suppress and push down that anger until we can't take it anymore. And then we end up exploding. So that's why I'm coming in here and showing you how to help yourself before that explosion occurs. So yes, your vision is limited. You can't really see what's going on all around you. And like trauma, anger affects every aspect of your life. It affects work. It affects home. It affects relationships with partners, with friends, everything. Your view is like this. We have almost a tunnel vision and we can't see what's going on around us because we are hyper focused on what's happening within us. And that's really important to know. So the other thing that anger does to our body, which is really strange but understandable, is that let me think how to put this. It reduces our short-term memory. So we don't remember what we're saying and we don't remember what we're doing or what we did or said an hour ago when we were even more angry. Or if you have a conversation with somebody, okay, you've been angry and you've been holding that anger for a long time, a lot of times you don't remember what he or she said, and you might have to go back and really think about it in your mind. Or if you're reading something and you don't remember what you read 3 pages ago and you have to go back and reread it, well, that's because we're holding on to anger within inside of us, and our short-term memory is affected by that. So that's an interesting thing for you to know and to keep in the back of your mind. This is why I think it's so important to have this pop-up group, because things happen to us due to our anger that we do not correlate with our anger, such as a lack of short-term memory. When we are filled with anger, we also tend to make impulsive decisions. We cannot think. We are only we are only reacting. We are not responding. And so what I'm going to teach you throughout the next 5 weeks is how to actually respond instead of react when we are feeling angry. A lot of this has to do with the different sections of our brain. So the prefrontal cortex controls our reasoning, and it gets smaller when we are angry. And so it's hard to be rational, right, when we're angry. If you're in a continued state of anger, which we are because we're trauma victims and we're angry about it until we start recovering, it's hard to make a really rational decision. We tend to make more impulsive decisions. We tend to make a decision that's going to bring us immediate happiness or immediate relief from the feelings that we feel when we are angry. So these are the ways our physical body feels when we are angry. We feel the adrenaline rush. We feel our heart beating faster and our pulse racing. We feel our muscles tightening. Okay. What we don't realize when we're angry is we lose physically some of our vision. So we're more tunnel visioned. What we don't realize is we're losing our short-term memory because we're focused on the anger that we can't remember things that were happening around us. It also affects our decision making, and it makes us more impulsive, more apt to jump on an easier way to handle things, something that's going to bring relief from the pain we're feeling as fast as possible, rather than taking our way through recovery. So those are why you're feeling physically. Those are the changes that are occurring in our bodies. Number one, when we are in a fit of anger, and number two, when we are carrying anger for a long amount of time. And so also, of course, our blood pressure is raised, and believe it or not, our mind has a hard time when we're in an angered state to distinguish what's really going on to what we're thinking what's going on. So our perception is off when we're angry. And so those are things that we know are happening all the time, because you're like, I don't know why I can't remember anything. You're holding on to anger. It protects you by reducing your short-term memory, your ability to hold that short-term memory. Or you might think, why did that just happen? Did that just happen? Well, you're not sure, because anger is what's in control of your brain right now. So I'm just going to go over again what happens physically when you're angry, and then I'm going to just talk about how to manage just a few short ways how we manage anger. We're going to go into next week how to manage our anger in detail. But again, when we are angry, it affects our brain because it puts us in flight, fright, freeze mode. It has our brain stop what it's doing, as in performing its natural everyday actions. It shuts some pieces of our brain off, and it makes some of our pieces of our brain grow stronger. And the pieces of our brain that grow stronger are ones that produce stress hormones. Cortisol and adrenaline are both stress hormones. And if you ever heard me talk about trauma bonds, cortisol is huge in trauma bonds. And cortisol is the part of a trauma bond that we feel when we're being discarded. And then when they reel us back in, if you're in a trauma bond and we produce dopamine, that makes us happy again. And that's what causes that cycle in a trauma bond. But when we're angry, we're in that constant state of releasing cortisol and adrenaline in our body. And so we're walking around angry and tense each and every day. It also raises our blood pressure. It also raises our pulse. It also inhibits our ability to remember. It hurts our short-term memory. It limits our vision physically. It keeps us from being able to reason within our mind. We tend to make very impulsive decisions when we're angry because we just want the pain to end. So these are all the chemical reactions in our body when we are walking around for days, for weeks, for years, for hours, angry. That's the state your body is in. So take a minute and think about what that does to your body and how difficult it is to be in the world in that state every single day. And we've all been there because we're victims of trauma. But my job is to get you to the other side and be trauma survivor and trauma thriver. Because once we're done being the victim, we are survivors. And when we're done just surviving, just living, we become thrivers. And we begin to change our entire world. So what are we going to do about this anger that's walking around, holding us hostage? Number one of the biggest things that you can do is meditate. And meditation actually helps grow your brain. Meditation actually has the ability to rewire the way you think. So when I first started my journey, I was like, yeah, journaling, yeah, meditation. I just want to feel better. And I learned that feeling better the right way is a process. Again, it's getting your hands dirty and making that tunnel through the mountain, not taking a shortcut around it, not taking a shortcut going over it, but really processing and digging through it. So the meditation and the journaling, they definitely help you, especially in the meditation. It actually grows and rewires your brain. You can also be, and you should also be very mindful. You should try as hard as you can to stay in the present moment. The longer we relive whatever made us angry, the more we stay in that state of anger, and the more we can't continue on growing as a human being because we're in that flight fright mode. And so we can't rationalize, we make impulsive decisions, we can't see things straight, we don't remember things. So we want to stay in the present moment. If you feel yourself drifting back to the trauma or whatever has made you angry, ground yourself. Think of 5 things you see, 5 things that you hear around you, 5 things that are going to put you in the present moment. Okay, the other thing you can do is reframe the way you are thinking. So, you know, when you're in the grocery store and you're walking along and you're like, oh my God, this person is walking so slow, why can't they speed it up? Reframe that in your mind and think, wow, I wonder what happened to that person that they have to walk so slowly. Were they in a car accident? Were they hurt by another person? Were they born with a disability? Reframe it and let the anger diminish and think about other reasons, and maybe practice some gratitude that you are the one not walking slowly for whatever reason that person might be. So reframing is a very good, or rewiring is a very good tactic to use when anger is affecting your ability in a situation to perform. One of the things that is not helpful, believe it or not, is venting. Venting is not good for anger because it doesn't cure anything. So when you're on Facebook and you see rant, and then the person goes on and on and on and on a rant, or vent, and the person goes on and on and on with the vent. And I have been guilty of doing this. We think, okay, it's out of us. It's on that page. There it is. It's not in me anymore. But that's not the truth. Or you call your best friend and you want to rant, or you call your mom or whomever. That really doesn't work because you did not process your anger. You vomited it out, as I like to say, but you didn't process what is behind the anger. See, anger is an umbrella emotion. Under the anger, there are other emotions. And if you become part of my group, we look under the anger and we look at your real feelings and we process what you're really going through so that you can come to clarity. And we talk about strategies that you can use and take aligned action, which means you pick your goals, you use your strategies, and you use actions that align with your goal. So that's what we do in our major group. This is our pop-out group where we're just learning a little bit about anger and how to process it and how to free ourselves from it. Venting does not free ourselves from it because after you vomit it out on your page, it's not gone. It's still in you. And as I tell my clients, we have to take that ugly out. We have to look at it. We have to stare at all parts of it. We have to process it. And then it slowly fades away. Recovery is a process. And part of recovery and part of the process is getting rid of our anger. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to invite you to meditate with me. I'm going to do a anger release, a relaxation to deal with anger meditation with you. I hope this will help you, and I hope that you will come back to it when you need to. So I'm inviting you to find a spot that's comfortable for you, and we're gonna take a break and relax. And we're gonna deal with anger in a healthy, productive manner. Anger is a normal and natural emotion. And there is nothing wrong with having those feelings. You're human after all. You have the power to decide how to deal with this emotion that you are experiencing. Anger management does not mean holding anger in. It does not mean that you will never feel angry. Anger management is a behavioral response that can arise when you are feeling angry. So when you feel angry and you want to manage your anger, this is what we can do. Okay. All you really need to do right now is just to relax, for you to help you feel relaxed and calm. It's going to take you a few moments. It feels good to relax. After this short relaxation session is over, you can proceed with your day and react in the way that you choose. Relaxing for a moment now will help you react calmly rather than reacting out of emotion. Okay, take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and breathe out. Breathe in, hold that tension, and breathe out. Feeling the tension release from your breath. Keep breathing like this slowly and deeply, and let your body relax a little. Turn your attention again to how you are feeling. Notice the physical sensation of anger. Where is it in your body? Where is your anger stored? Some people notice that they tighten their shoulders when they are angry. Others deal with their angry, they notice clenched fists or tight jaws. Anger may be experienced as a feeling in your stomach, your neck, or any one of a number of places in your body that demonstrate the physical symptoms of anger. Many of these physical symptoms are uncomfortable. Some of these symptoms can be relieved right now, if you like, by relaxing your muscles. So let's relax a few areas to begin this process to deal with anger by relaxing your muscles. Starting with your hands and arms first, you're going to tighten your hands into fists. Feel the tension in your hands and arms. Hold. Tighter, tighter, and relax. Let go, allowing your hands and arms to be relaxed, loose, and limp. Notice the difference between the tension and the relaxation. Now, see if you can create a feeling of relaxation in your shoulders. Take a moment to relax your shoulders now. You may choose to tighten your shoulder muscles and then relax, or you can simply relax your shoulders without tensing them first. Do whatever works best for you. For me, tense and release. Focus now on your face and your jaws. Relax your face and jaws, but tense them up first. Let all the tension then leave your face. Let the tension leave your jaw, leaving your face and jaw smooth and relaxed. Scan your body now for remaining areas of tension. Relax each area that feels tense. Scan your body from head to toe, relaxing each body part after tensing it. Tense up your stomach and then let it go. Tense up your thighs, clench your buttocks, and let it go. Do the same for your thighs and your calves and your feet, and then finally your toes. Take note of how you are feeling now, physically and emotionally. You are controlling anger right now, just by the fact that you have not yet reacted with any angry behaviors. You have chosen to relax, to deal with anger in a healthy way. To increase the control you have over anger, you might want to repeat some affirmations to help you create realistic, rational thinking, also called self-control thoughts. Affirmation for anger management to help deal with anger can sound like, I can feel my anger and stay in control. I am at peace and harmony with everyone and everything. I allow myself to acknowledge angry feelings without losing control. It feels better to act out of love than anger. Notice again how your body is feeling physically. How are you feeling? Let your body relax a little bit more, relaxing any tense areas. Emotionally, how are you feeling? See how emotions come and go. Anger comes and goes. It will not last forever. There is a limited time where you exercise self-control before anger is no longer an issue. You may feel less angry or just as angry or more angry now than you were at the beginning of this relaxation session. To deal with any anger that remains around you, you might have to express it in order to get it out. You do not have to keep your emotions inside. You can choose to express them rationally and calmly. There are other ways to express anger too. You can do physical exercise, journaling, writing, drawing. After your anger has decreased and you are feeling calm, you might want to address any situation that was upsetting by taking action to change the situation, change what you can control. Once your anger has decreased, you get to choose whatever option seems best for you. You have the right to feel any range of emotions, including anger, and to express these emotions in any way you choose. Let's take a deep breath in and out. And in and out. Keep breathing deeply to deal with the anger and feel relaxed and calm. And then congratulate yourself for dealing with anger using relaxation. I will count from 5 to 1. Imagine that right now you are a 5, and that when I reach 1, you'll be feeling awake and alert, yet calm, peaceful, and relaxed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed today's meditation. I'm going to hold up some affirmations that I'm also going to put up in our group. I apologize for the technical difficulties when you go live. You go live and you can't control sometimes what's happening around you. You can only make choices, what's going to benefit you. And so I figured recording and uploading would stop it from skipping. If you guys ever need me, have any questions or concerns, again, the phone is always next to me and I will always respond. So here are, oh, they're probably backwards to you, but I will put the affirmations up on our Facebook page so that you can write them down and you can say them to yourself when you're starting to feel angry. I'm going to read them to you one more time. I can feel my anger and stay in control. I am at peace and harmony with everyone and everything. I allow myself to acknowledge angry feelings without losing control. And it feels better to act out of love than anger. I hope everybody has a great day. And I hope this is the beginning of a wonderful journey for all of you. I am Bonnie Sonnenberg, trauma advocate, mindset coach, and I will see you next Wednesday or pop into the other group. Feel free to join us. I do a lot of lives in there as well, and reach out if you need me. Have a wonderful day.